Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and I want to discuss privacy. Many words have multiple meanings, so I'll describe first the meaning I'm using, and that is the boundary within which a person has ownership of their body, their property, and their choices. It's that boundary, really, that is the privacy, if you ask me. And why it's important is because without it, there's no accountability. There's no holding people responsible for what they logically should be responsible for, or even identifying who did something without that boundary. That is to say, you can never understand who owned a choice or an item because they didn't, if there is no privacy. So it connects with the subject of accountability, but there's a bigger, more important reason. And that is, I believe that agency is a gift. What is agency? How does that connect with privacy? Agency is ownership of your choices, right? The ability to make a decision and own not just the outcome, but the good stuff that comes from it, right? The good stuff and the bad stuff, hopefully, to be objective and fair, that sometimes people make bad decisions. Sometimes there's a learning process and it's not all smooth, but without privacy, you become subjugated. Your property, your body, your personal space becomes the property of someone else. That's really what it's about. Privacy is other people needing to gain your consent, potentially, to access your stuff, your body, your space. And without that boundary, without the recognition and respect of your privacy, you have no ownership. You own nothing at that point. So it makes sense in terms of being successful in society today and in the future that people should have to, at some point, understand and uphold a social standard for privacy. Without it, you become subject to a demon. You become just an instrument. You have no more boundaries at that point. Everything you do becomes ambiguous. Everything you own is first owned by someone else. Everything you extend is for their purpose without a need for them to gain your consent to access you. That's what privacy is about. That's why it's important, because it enables you to participate in the gift of agency. It enables you to own your consequences. Privacy, agency, accountability, these are all very closely connected ideas, and they're super important. And I feel this is one of our biggest opportunities to better understand what's going on in the world right now. There's a lot of angry, unhappy people. If you haven't noticed, if you ask me, it's not complicated. I mean, yes, it's economic, but that's an oversimplification. There's a bigger problem. Why are so many people afraid and angry, regardless of money? I think it's because they're being habitually abused. The lines of accountability, the lines of personal space are being routinely disregarded, violated, and people are being told to just deal with it. They're being told that it could be worse. They're being told to just man up or get over it. And you've heard all this stuff before, right? Well, what if there is an actual principle behind this, a real measurable boundary that people are obligated to uphold and acknowledge? I don't know. You tell me. Reach out with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.